afternoon, everyone. I would like to extend my sincere welcome to you for having the time allocated for this visit. I know that you have a busy schedule, so thank you very much for being here with us today to hear about the co-op. My name is Ihab El-Sadani. I'm the Dean for the College of Engineering and Physical Sciences, and I'll be happy to share with you a little bit about the information regarding the cooperative education program that we are starting and launching for the first time at Khalifa University. And I'll just start by giving just an example of what this co-op mimics. So if you are going to buy Mercedes or BMW, I don't think you are going to go and drop by the dealership paying 400,000 dirhams and just get the car. Because what if you don't like it after driving it for 1 week? Are you going to stuck with it for the rest of your life or maybe for the next 5, 6 years? Or it is better, for example, if I give you the opportunity to rent the same car, paying maybe 200 dirhams per day for a week, test it, drive it. If you like it, you can take it. If you don't, you can return it back. And then you go to the next one, test another Mercedes, test another Lamborghini, test whatever you want for 1 week. And once you like one, you can take it. This is exactly what's co-op about. We are going to give you a talent. We are going to give you a student for a period of 6 months to test him or her. And if you like what you are getting, you can hire them. If you don't, you return it back to us. So this is exactly what is co-op about. So cooperative education is a unique program, and it is one of the flagship programs in what is known as well work integrated learning. What we are trying to do is to integrate work experience with educational experience. So this is a unique program that is used typically in North America and proves successful for the last 50 plus years. And it is one of the flagship programs that we are developing along with our partners, University of Waterloo, which is the leader in the cooperative education in North America, started this program in 1954. And it is one of the top, if not the top, university in cooperative education. And also, we are developing this along with Al Ghurair Foundation, which is what is supplying us with their blessing. So let me start by talking about Khalifa University. I know that everyone knows Khalifa University, reputation, quality, but just to give you the facts. So Khalifa University is the top university in United Arab Emirates for the 7th or 8th year in a row. So this is a statement of quality. We are number 177 worldwide, according to QS ranking of 2025. And we are the 37th university in Asia, according to the Times Higher Education, 27th worldwide as a leading young university. So the reputation is there. KU is known for its pioneering educational system that is combining research and educational excellence. What is the most important thing for us and also for the industry is employability. What we are looking for is how can we make our graduates employable to the best that we can. As you can see, those are roughly the percentages of our graduates who got employment within the first 9 months. If we exclude 2020, 2021, which is the COVID year, of course, we have very low number of employability. The rest is actually proving very healthy. So we recovered from the COVID in 2021, 22. We have 70% of our students employed by the 9th month of graduation. And then we popped that up to 84%. Currently, the ratio for the 24-25 is almost 89% of our graduates are employed within the first 9 months. What we are looking for is to make this above 90% within the first 3 months. And this is where co-op actually is going to help us to have this kind of momentum. We have lots of industrial partners that are working with us. I'm not going to name all of them, but we have significant number of partners that we are proud to be part of KU network. and we are building more networks, and definitely with you, we are going to succeed in that. Now, let me just go through the cooperative education. Cooperative is meant to actually bridge the gap between industry and academia. In most of the typical undergraduate schools, the students are going to be exposed to lots of theoretical experiences that might not be aligned with industry. So what we are trying to do is to take those students and put them in an industrial environment where they can link what they are learning in classrooms, in their labs, and what is actually happening in industry. And this is a very important step, not only for the student to gain the experience, but also for the industry to identify the talent and use this talent to have new blood in their system and innovative ideas in their mechanisms. So co-op is actually doing an alteration between education and industry. So the student is not going to stay for the whole 4 years, for example, doing their study and then go out for the employment, but they are going to have the chances to alter their education and industry by having foundation, which is a strong foundation at the beginning, and then go to industry to test the industry, do networking, and see what's actually happening in industry, and then come back with new ideas from industry to implement in their senior design projects, in their graduation projects, and then after that, go back again to have more industrial experience before they join the workforce. So this is a very important step. In typical practice, the co-op, for example, I'll give you practice of Waterloo, where I happened to spend 25 years of my life there. They do 6 sequential co-ops, which means that starting from year 1, the students stay only for 1 year at the university and then go out for co-op, comes back to university, go for a second co-op, and they do that 6 times. 6 times. So they graduate with 2 years of full experience, full industrial experience. And you can imagine how this industrial experience shaped their life, because it shapes actually what they are studying inside the university, not only what they are doing in their career. So this is what we are trying to mimic with a different mechanism, because our system does not allow this kind of frequent in, out. So we are only limiting the co-op to 2 co-ops. Each one is 6 months in period. Okay. During this co-op, the student also, in addition to learning industrial practices, workplace etiquette, they are going to gain some income. They are going to do practical experience. They are going to connect with different stakeholders, different employees from different range. So they are going to gain lots of knowledge, and they are going definitely to improve their skills. Now, lots of people got confused between internship and co-op. They are totally different. The main difference between internship and co-op is the sense of commitment from the student and from the employer. The employer who receives an internship see this as just a trainee, someone who is coming here to stay for 8 weeks normally. And what this guy is going to do in 8 weeks? Pretty much nothing. So the people in internship ends in most of the cases by doing something very superficial and something on the surface. In contrary, the co-op student is going to stay with you for 6 full months, 26 weeks. So you can actually give this student a very important task to do. You can actually build something out of the student within 6 months. So the duration is very important. 8 weeks versus 26 weeks for the first co-op, and then another 26 weeks for the second co-op. Students can go to the same location for the 2 co-ops, or they can alternate to gain different experiences. So this is, again, another important fact, that the student is not binded to go to the same location for the co-ops, but they can alternate, and this will give them the opportunity to gain different experiences in different type of work, different environment. Also, the co-op is a paid job. Okay, so the co-op student is literally an employee within the company, and they are going to be paid. So this kind of commitment is going to be commitment from the company, excuse me, to pay the student, and also commitment from the student who will be paid. So they will be seen as an employee and not as a trainee. The duration is 6 months, as I mentioned, versus 8 weeks. Sometimes the internship typically is 16 weeks, typically is done in 2 periods and can be actually done back to back. But anyway, it is maximum of 16 weeks. Experience is going to be different because the long-term experience within the 6 months is going to be different than the 8 weeks. And of course, the students in the co-op will be exposed to in-depth experience compared to a service or superficial experience within the internship. Now, why you can hire a co-op from University of Khalifa? High quality talent. We are pioneer, as I mentioned in the first slide. We are the first in UAE for the past 7 years, 8 years. So this is a statement and testimony of the quality of education that we are doing within Khalifa University. So it is very important that you realize that, that you are getting the best of the best. You are getting students who have been highly trained, who have been well cared of, and also they are involved in research. So this is important stuff. They are not only exposed to a very low-level theoretical experience, but also they are exposed to research environment because Khalifa University is research-intensive school. So we involve our students in our research. We have 13 research centers around different topics that is all aligned with Abu Dhabi pillars and directions. And all those students have access to the labs. They are actually participating in our research, so they are well equipped for research. Workforce development. This is actually an opportunity for the industry to actually develop talent by training those students to be their future employee. So this is an important step that we are looking for. And they are flexible because the co-op, when it is fully implemented and matured, it will offer students all over the year. So you don't have only to be binded by the internships that happens during the summertime, but you will have access to this talent through the 12 months because we are going to establish the first co-op in June 2026. And after that, the 2 streams are going to alternate. So this means that some students are going to have their co-op from June till December. Some other students are going to have their co-op from January till June. So you are going to have access to students within co-op systems for the 12-month period of the year instead of just having the internships that happens normally in the summertime. So you are going to have the flexibility of that. Fresh perspective, being innovative. Those students are exposed to research. They will bring new ideas and enthusiasm to the workforce. And the employer and community branding is going to be important. So we are going to enhance the reputation and foster the future partnership with different stakeholders. And finally, you are going to have talent evaluation. We provide real environment to assess potential employee, which is the most important thing. This is just like a layout of the schedule. We are forcing our students to go to the co-op after they finish their 3rd year. And we have done that intentionally because we want our co-op students to go well prepared. So we are not going to send co-op students to the workplace when they are not ready enough. So they need to finish 6 full semesters before they go out for co-op. And by doing that, we are guaranteeing that those students have enough theoretical background to be a valuable asset within the workforce. So we are not sending freshmen, for example, who just have some calculus and math and chemistry, but those guys will be exposed to all those actually basics. But on top of that, they have good amount of technical courses covered and skills covered in order to help them to do that. So the first 3 years are going to be pretty much study, and then the first co-op is going to start after they finish the 3rd year for 6 months. And then also our vision is to not only to help the students to go and practice, but also to continue this kind of network by engaging industry in their senior design project. So our vision is to have those students going out for 6 months, and upon their return, they are going to start their 4th year. And the 4th year has 2 semesters. And within those 2 semesters, they do their graduation project, or what we call senior design project, the SDP, which has 2 parts. The first part in the first semester, the second part in the second semester, which is a very complicated team working design scope. What we are hoping for is after they go for 6 months, they will come back with fresh ideas, industrious ideas, so ideas from the industry, and maybe some advisor from the industry to join their senior design. And by doing that, even the industry will have the opportunity to explore new and fresh ideas with the students. So this will be another opportunity for the industry to explore ideas through the senior design project. The second co-op semester is going to be happening after the students finalize their 4th year. And this means that those are not students anymore. Those are engineers, because they already finished all the requirement for graduation. But we are giving them the chance to have further practice through an additional 6 months after graduation. However, I have to mention that the second co-op is not mandatory. This program is currently meant to be a pilot program, which means that the students are going to have their first co-op, but the second co-op can happen or cannot happen, depending on the situation. For example, if we send a student for the first co-op and the student did a fantastic job, and the company sees that this is an excellent asset to continue as an employee, then you can offer him or her a contract directly after graduation, or they can come back to you for another 6 months to compensate for any additional training. Like most of the companies, when they hire a new individual, what they do, they offer them maybe 1 year of training, rotational training, in order to know what is about in the company. So this co-op is going to be a replacement for this training. So you have 6 months of training after year 3. Maybe you have another 6 months of training after year 4, and then this person is ready for employment. Or if this guy is clever enough and did enough training within the first 6 months, they can join forces directly. So for the student, they have the opportunity to go for a second co-op, but if they are offered a job, they don't have to go for the co-op and they can take the job. If they don't have a job, we are offering them the second co-op as a continuous practice and training until they got the offer. So the second co-op is not mandatory, not as the first co-op, which is a must take because this is part of the curriculum. Now, we are not picking any students for the co-op, but we are picking the best. So the minimum requirement for the student to be eligible to apply for the co-op is 3.25 GPA. And this is a typically high GPA for the students. This means that the student is like above 80%. So this is an excellent student. So we are not trying to get any student to the co-op. It is a very competitive program, and not every student will be eligible to do that. Not only that, among the students who are eligible from the cumulative GPA perspective and applied to be considered, we are going to filter them out through an internal interview as well. So we have an internal interview to all the people who are eligible from the GPA perspective to even filter them out more, depending on their experience, depending on their communication skills, depending on their writing skills. So all those skills will be examined within the internal interview in order to put those on the eligible list. So the GPA is one good input, but it is not enough. They have to pass through an internal interview, which is going to be conducted by several individuals, like a committee, participation from the career office, participation from the department. The faculty members within the student department will be participating to judge the technicality of the students. So all those parameters are going to be taken into consideration. The pilot project is actually starting with only the engineering disciplines. All the engineering disciplines are eligible to apply in addition to computer science. So the only science program which is going to be considered for the first co-op batch, is the computer science, in addition to all the engineering program, as you can see here. Most of those engineering programs are lying under the College of Engineering and Physical Sciences, and a couple of them under the Computing and Mathematical Sciences, and one program which is Biomedical Engineering under the College of Medicine and Health Sciences. So in general, all the engineering programs are eligible to apply for the co-op in addition to the computer science. Just finally, we have responsibilities. So we are all responsible. Employers are responsible, students are responsible, and the university are responsible for conduction of this cooperative program. The students, for example, have to have their preparation. They have to go through the interviews. They have to maintain the GPA. They have to write reports during their co-op. They have to develop the skills that is required to be able to achieve a successful co-op. Employers are also responsible because you as employer have to develop a job description, exactly the same as if you are hiring a fresh graduate. So you have to provide a detailed job description so the student know exactly what he or she will be doing within 6 months, which is not a small period. It is a long period. So they have to know what they are doing, and this is going to be laid down in the job description. You have to mentor the student, of course, because mentorship is very important in developing the skills of the students and personality as well. And you have to submit evaluation report on the student at the end of the co-op system or co-op term. We have a couple of coordinators, one from the logistics point of view and one from the technical point of view. The logistics point of view, the coordinator will be from the career office. He or she will be taking care of the logistics in general, contacting the companies, having the job descriptions aligned, uploaded on the system, being available to the students, arranging for the interviews. Everything is going to be taken care of from the logistics point of view by the career office and the coordinator. On the other hand, we have a technical advisor or a technical coordinator who is technically looking at all aspects of the students, and both are going to be doing site visits to the students to look at logistics and also look at any kind of technical difficulties or technical challenges that the students are going to be passing through during the co-op semester. Finally, I just want to present the timeline. So the starting point of the timeline is the job posting. The job posting means that the employer will be sending us a detailed job description based on a template that we are going to be providing. But just before that, before November 25, so November 2025 is the starting date of the employer side, but there is lots of things on the background. So the end of this week, the students are going to start opting in co-op, which means that we are going to provide them with the opportunity to register for the co-op. So any eligible student who has 3.25 GPA will be eligible. Any one of them who is interested will sign that I'm interested to join. This is happening the end of this week or early next week. Once they are doing that, we are going to give them 1 week to start filling their portfolio and putting, before the portfolio. After 1 week, we are going to start internal interviews first. Internal interviews is going to happen to all the students who registered their interest. And after that, after all the interviews are done internally, we are going to have ranking for the students, and we are going to start putting the students from 1 until 100, for example. Only 40 students are going to be considered for the first batch of co-op. So we are not opening the system for everyone. So even those people who are passing the interviews, not all of them will go out, but only 45 students only are going to be going out. Okay, because we don't want to start the co-op with a massive number of students. We just want to start slowly in order to guarantee the success of the program, in order to guarantee that everything is done right. We are starting only with 40 to 45 students. And those 40 students are divided among all programs. So we are anticipating that each program will have about 4 to 5 co-op students. So aerospace For example, we'll have 4, electrical will have 4, mechanical 4, and so on. So pretty much 4 to 5 max within each program. After the internal interviews, we are going to start ranking the students, informing the first 40 students that they are eligible, and they start to develop their portfolio. And we are going to have a wait list just in case that anyone drops in the middle. We are going to have a waiting list for students who are in the second batch. After that, we are going to receive the job descriptions from the employer in November 2025. So you will be receiving emails with a template for the job description that you will need to fill, and you are going to send that to us, and we are going to upload that on our system. Our system is called Simplicity, and this is the system we are using. And all the job descriptions are going to be posted on the system. There is a deadline, of course, to do that, and you are going to be notified by the deadline. Once all those jobs are posted on the system, it will open to the students. The students will be able to see all those postings that are coming from all the companies, and they are going to see all the job descriptions, and they will have the chance to browse through all those job descriptions and pick the ones that are related to them. And they will apply for all the jobs that are related to their expertise and relevant to their discipline. After that, we are going to have applications, so they will apply. And once they apply, the company is going to be given the information, and the company will see all the students who applied to the job. Okay, so the company will see all the students who applied to the job, and then the company is going to conduct interviews. So the company, which is you are going to interview all the students who applied for your job, and you are going to rank those students. And the students who had interviewed with you are going to rank the company. So they are going to being interviewed with several companies. So the students are going to rank the companies that they interviewed them, and the companies are going to rank the students who have been interviewed for the job, and we are going to have a matching mechanism. This mechanism is a little bit of complicated mechanism, but it depends on the probability matching. So for example, like a student ranked ADNOC as number 1, ADIA as number 2, and of course not the company, but the job coming from ADNOC, or the job coming from ADIA, or the job coming from Siemens. So they ranked the jobs as number 1, number 2, number 3. But the company ranked the students also, so they have different ranking. So for example, I'm the student, I ranked ADNOC as number 1, but ADNOC ranked another guy as number 1 and ranked me as number 3. So this sum, 3 plus 1 is 4. So we are going to have lots of optimization here, because we have sum for the student and the employer, sum from the employer side, and we are going to have this mechanism, which is automated mechanism. And this mechanism is what is implemented at the University of Waterloo. We are borrowing that from them. This mechanism is going to give us the best match for all the students together. So it is not done individually for each student. It is done for all the students who are in the batch, to guarantee that each one get the best offer. Okay, so once the matching is done, job offers are going to be prepared by the company, and co-op starts in June. Between the job offers and the co-op, we are going to prepare our students to the job, which means that we are going to develop specified workshops to train the students, not only on technicality, but on interpersonal skills, on communication skills, on how to draft more professional emails, workspace etiquette, health and safety. All those are going to be developed in workshops given to those co-op students specifically to prepare them to go and be safely allocated in the work environment. So this is pretty much all what it has in order to bring you the best out of the best and actually build the leaders of tomorrow. This program is open for Emiratis and non-Emiratis as well. The main point that I want to make here is that this is a paid job. This is a paid cooperative system, which means that the company needs to pay the student for the work. as of now, there is no minimum payment. There is minimum payment that has to be done, but the number is not yet determined. It is going to be in the range of 6K, almost 6 to 7K, based on the typical international practices, okay? And to be honest, this is seen as an opportunity for the companies and also the students. Of course, the companies, instead of just hiring someone that you don't know, only based on a paper and some interview, you are going to see this individual physically in your premises for 6 full months, at least 6 months, and you are going to examine all aspects of this individual to see if this is really the right fit for the position or not. So I think this is a golden opportunity. It is a win-win situation. The students are going to benefit from being exposed to practical experiences. They are going to be benefiting from being paid, and the company also is going to be benefited from having those talented students that we are picking, hand-picked students. So those are hand-picked students, excellent GPA, passing through an internal interview, passing through an external interview that the company is doing exactly the same as hiring process. So those are hand-picked students that are going to be provided for you. So we believe that this system is going to enrich the educational system, and also it is going to enrich the industry and fit in the position and the problem of having this gap between industry and academia. So with that, I'll